be with Dr. Bartholomew Orr, pastor, author, husband, family man, and thought leader as he encounters other believers who have impacted the world with their God-given gifts and talents. Let's meet the people who are moving the church forward with their faith, wisdom, direction, and innovation. It's spiritual, it's motivational, it's Church Forward.
Hey guys, this is Bartholomew Orr. Join me on this journey as we chronicle the stories and lifestyles of some of the world's most innovative people who will share how their faith, wisdom, and direction helped them to change lives and make a difference in these unprecedented times. It is my prayer that these out-of-the-box conversation with extraordinary people will help you and all of us to really think differently about our faith and doing the unthinkable in these times. And today, my conversation is with none other, the one and only Jeremy Pierre, Fox 13 Memphis reporter. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm just blessed to be here with you, Dr. Orr.
Well, you know what? I feel honored because I got you on the other side of the mic.
I know this is a little different.
Look, I get a chance to ask you the questions today.
Right.
And tell me about your journey as a reporter, because everybody in Memphis know Jeremy Pierre.
Well, my journey as a reporter began in college. Xavier University of Louisiana, graduated there with a bachelor's degree. Went on to WDSU, started off as an associate producer, getting coffee for the anchors and the other reporters.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, indeed.
So is New Orleans home for you?
New Orleans is home. New Orleans is
Wow.
home. Born and raised.
My goodness. What was your major in college?
Broadcast journalism. Well, you know, I changed my major so many times, but broadcast.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
Right. Look, I graduated with a thank you, Lordy. But broadcast journalism is what I ended up with.
Okay. Many people probably don't know it, but I was an actual electrical engineering major at Christian Brothers University in Memphis, Tennessee.
And look at you now.
Hey, look, when I was growing up, engineers made money. And so I was like, I need to make some money.
Yes.
Preachers are broke.
Right. Well, journalists are broke too.
But I'm thankful that God turned the situation around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, look, you've been doing this now for how many years?
12 years in the business, 10 years this year on television.
Well, congratulations. And we're thankful. Matter of fact, last Soulful Christmas,
I had a good time.
Oh, my goodness. You were one of our hosts with Sherry Mackey.
Yes. It was an absolute amazing time. I mean, down in McClurkin, the choir, the men's choir. I love the men's choir here at men's chorus here at Brown Baptist. They were bad. I need to be up there with them.
Well, the way that you were interacting, I'm like, wait a minute now. He seemed like he had some church in him.
I got a little bit in me.
So you grew up in church?
Grew up in church all my life. My home church in New Orleans, Louisiana, Greater St. Stephen Full Gospel Baptist Church.
The pastor?
Yes.
Paul Morton.
When I joined, it was Reverend Morton or Elder Morton. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And so your faith journey is rooted there at Greater St. Stephen.
Absolutely. 5-star ministry. And that's how I go through my life. Everything in excellence. That's one thing Bishop Morton taught us, even in the youth choir. Excellence. And so even in my career, excellence. I check my work. I even teach excellence to the students that I mentor because God wants excellence.
I like that. So tell me about your faith journey. I mean, how did it start? Who influenced you?
Who influences me? What's really interesting, growing up, I really wanted to be a preacher. I went home every Sunday. I would set up my church. My mama would tell you, I would set up my church.
Wow.
And look, I found everybody ain't meant to preach.
So you would have the little mic and everything.
Oh, I had a mic. I have my Bible. I have everything, And I even, at one point in time, I even wanted my hair to be like Bishop Morton. So, but my faith journey, I was baptized. I was an extra miler at Life Center Full Gospel Baptist Church with Bishop J. Douglas Wally, and he taught me all things are possible if you only believe. So, and it goes back even to my godfather. Just hearing him preach and hearing him how thorough he was in the word.
All right, now who's your godfather?
Jasper Williams.
The Jasper.
The Jasper Williams.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. His roots are right here in Memphis, Tennessee.
And I told him it's crazy that I ended up in Memphis, Tennessee, and walking in North Memphis, I had to do my own research and say, man, J.W. Williams.
Well, his father, tremendous preacher, pastor, communicator. Talk about back in the day being a trailblazer, even with radio and so forth. And it really just helped to set Jasper up to be what he is today.
Yeah, and I had an amazing opportunity to see all that history. When I went to Salem just a couple of weeks ago, him celebrating so many years, a lot of years, I believe 70 years in the ministry.
Because he started preaching as a little boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I saw all that history. So you telling me that, and the Lane Avenue and everything, yeah.
Well, small world, how things are connected. And so growing up in New Orleans in church, now, this my little cheat sheet says that you're actually a musician.
Yes, I'm a musician.
Wow. Which instrument? Sing or what?
No, but I can tell you if you ain't on key. But I'm a drummer.
Now, do you still play?
I play every now and then. I got a whole kit. Matter of fact, I got 3 kits in my house right now. One is set up.
Okay, so that's going to be one of the things. You're going to have to come one Sunday when Channel 13 let you off, and
for sure
you'll come be a guest musician. And
I love to play with Tim Mason. I love to play with Pastor Tim.
Well, do you know how to play a shout beat? Huh? Do you know how to play a shout?
A shout?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could drive it.
Oh, okay.
We could drive. Because
they love to shout music around here.
Well, we know here at Brown. Yes, indeed.
Wow. Now, so you start off in church and you grow up in church. How did that affect you going off to college?
Well, all throughout my life, in New Orleans, Catholic school is a big deal. So elementary, high school.
Oh my goodness!
And I graduated from Xavier, the only Catholic HBCU.
So you were just immersed in faith and religion, from all aspects.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, look, I went to Catholic school. I would participate in the Mass. The Mass is just as soulful as the service here at Brown. In New Orleans, there are many Catholic churches that have the same worship y'all got going on.
Oh, really?
Here. Oh, yeah.
What, charismatic?
Very charismatic.
Yeah.
Very charismatic.
I was telling Brown recently, whether a church does it solemnly or a little charismatic, every church is different.
It's different.
But I believe the difference is necessary to really minister to people and to meet them where they are, because everybody is not a foot stumping, hand clapping,
For sure.
But you need to be able to. We ought to be able to say that, hey, wherever you are, whatever your temperament, there is a church that can minister to you and to help foster your faith in Jesus Christ.
And that's what really helps me in the everyday work life. Just meet people where they are, because everybody may not understand the culture. But, it's always good to take time out to just learn a little bit and experience, for sure.
Well, look, what about a fraternity?
Well, I'm a part of Omega Psi-Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Omega Psi-Phi.
No, what is that? Purple and
Royal Gold. All gold and royal purple.
Well, my driver and security, James Jones, is proud.
Yes, we know.
Omega Psi-Phi brother. What was your major in college?
Again, broadcast journalism. And look, Again, Pastor Orr, I don't know how many times I changed it. I don't know how many times. The nuns at Xavier University were saying rosaries for me.
When they saw you coming, here is Jeremy once again.
He come.
My. So how did you end up with the journalist? How did you make that?
Well, it's crazy how people can have an impact on your life. Growing up, my mother used to work at the gospel tent at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, and every year we would run into Ed Gordon, and he would always say, hey, this guy belongs on TV. So it was pertinent to my life, and lo and behold, he's a journalist, and I became one. So
well, that's all right. Now, since moving to Memphis, how has that faith journey continued here in Memphis?
Well, being a part of Full Gospel, I had an uncle here, Bishop Ed Stevens. Shout out to him. He took very good care of me, and then visited a couple churches, and then connected through several other brothers in New Orleans, and they pointed me in different directions, and so I'm very, very active in my congregation. So,
well, great. Then go ahead and give a shout out to your congregation.
All right, Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. There you go.
Yeah, hey man, because again, Memphis is such a church community. Absolutely. And so many churches are doing such a great job, and Mississippi Boulevard have such a wonderful, rich history. And hey, Pastor Lawrence, he's celebrating, I think, 10 years as well. And so just it's great to see all of that journey continue on. Bishop, so let me just say, Bishop Stevens, I used to preach as a boy for his grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah, Pastor Hugh Morris, who pastored in North Memphis.
Wow.
And I was just a boy preacher with his grandfather, many youth days. When I tell you Memphis is a small town
and look,
full of connections.
I'm always trying to figure that out because, coming from New Orleans, Memphis is the big city.
No.
Yeah, it's
surely
so
New Orleans wouldn't.
So much bigger than, don't get me wrong, New Orleans plays very, very, very hard, and they play high. But Memphis is so big, it's so spread out. You're talking about New Orleans, but Memphis stretched out, and way more people.
Well, hey, it is a small town. Well, innovation, because this pandemic has really, I believe, turned everything upside down. In 34 years, I've been at Brown now for 34. How old are you?
I'll be 34 January 30th.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be 34. Man.
So I started pastoring Brown before you were even born. But so much has happened, and we're thankful for what God has done even at this church over the past 34 years. But when you think of innovation, when you think about, where things are going to be in the next 10 years and so forth, just speak a little bit about innovation. Where do you see us going?
Where do I see us going? For sure, I see us basically evolving into a better loving community, for sure. Pastor, I live my life by Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine among men so that others may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And so when I say that, and what it tells me is that I want people to live a life to where they are loving and people can see the great God work in them. And I really hope that I become a better person, so that people can see the great God work in me. So when you talk about innovation, I see us breaking away from a lot of the foolishness and really getting involved with making each other better.
I like that. So not only just technology innovation, but even in just relationship, even in just building community.
Because when you have the good relationships and building strong communities, everything gets better. Computers, cell phones. As a matter of fact, I think about it sometimes. Sometimes these cell phones have been,
have done us a disservice.
yeah, it's done us a real disservice. Hopefully, with the technology we have in our hands, we can come up with better ways to be more useful to each other, and communication is better because we live in a day and age where there's so many or so much miscommunication.
Well, so talk about that, because journalism, news, many people, can you believe everything you hear and see?
No. You can't believe everything you hear and see, because you gotta dig deeper you gotta do more than scratch the surface. I tell that to everybody. You got to do more than scratch the surface.
And see, it used to be a time where news reporters, they were just that, news reporter. There was no necessarily commentary or bias being brought into the mix of things. But what I'm hearing you saying is, you know what, you need to know what you're listening to. Are you listening to something that already have a slant or bias? And if so, dig deeper.
Yeah, dig deeper. And that's one thing. I never want to do a disservice to anyone.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this news, because we live in an age post-Trump where it's still fake news.
Yes.
And people will believe that, but
you can get everything on social media.
Social media.
And whatever you want to believe,
you can
probably find a backup story to it.
Yeah.
And yet, it very well could be false.
But that's why you dig deeper, you give fair, accurate, and balanced stories, and information, not just stories, but information, getting both sides. And if there's a third side, get it. And so
now, how do you go about ensuring that what you're putting out there before the people is just that?
Well, I want the people to know that I'm working, and I'm gonna put that in my language, and I'm gonna put that in my actions. I want you to see that I'm working, and I want you to hear that I'm working. I want you to know that Jeremy Pierre is going to give you every
you're
bit.
digging. You're digging for the truth,
and that is 90% of my day. Not just on TV.
Oh,
it's digging.
Okay.
Because somebody could give you a story right now. Hey, so-and-so stole my car, but did you see him?
Right.
Do you have any evidence? Let me dig deeper.
Yeah.
Let me go look at this police report. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And make sure it wasn't just repossessed, because
I've seen it happen.
Okay. Well, what wisdom? When you think of wisdom, what wisdom do you have for young black men who just want to be successful?
Wisdom. My wisdom to them, to black men or black young women who just want to be successful, is to always have an open mind, and don't be so quick to anger. Always have an open mind. Be willing to listen. I actually do less talking and more listening. This is probably the most I've ever talked in 2 months. So I want to hear. I want to hear, learn. Because if you're hearing and listening, you'll comprehend and you're applying what you're listening to. And that's why I think I've gotten so far and been as successful as I've been. I haven't reached the ultimate success, but I've been successful by listening and applying.
So what do you think is next for Jeremy Pierre? When you think of, where you're going to be in the next few years?
I don't know. Look, if you start a Bartholomew Orr Bible school, I might just apply. Apply. But I don't know, Pastor Orr. I do not know. I tell the news director and my agent and other folks, wherever the Lord leads me, I will follow.
So journalists have agents.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have
wow.
agents. Well, some of us do.
Okay.
Look, I don't like having the hard conversations because if I have the hard conversations, I might not have a job. You feel me?
That's pretty neat. I did not know that.
Hey, pastors could have agents too. You want one?
Well, look, I'm not going anywhere. They've had me for 34 years.
You ain't going nowhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I was on a prayer call recently with Steve Gaines.
Oh, okay.
And so it was
Shout out
his
to Pastor
job.
Gaines. Love
Look,
Pastor Gaines.
Hey, his job was praying for me, and he was like, Lord, you done blessed him 34 years. He's still so young. Let him do 50. I'm thinking to myself, Lord, I don't know if you need to listen to all of that prayer. give me some more years. I don't know. But yeah,
50.
But yeah. So agents, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. Well, if someone was thinking about going into journalism, what advice would you give them?
I would give them learn. It's very important, and I wish I would have learned this early on in my career. To less is more. Less is more. And I applied everything I learned as a musician. I apply it to my career.
Okay.
As a drummer, I'm not chopping. I'm not all over the. I'm in the pocket. I'm gonna keep you right there. And that's what I do. Less is more. Don't try to be different just so quick. Learn the basics.
Yeah.
And then with those basics, you'll get your style going, so.
I can't wait to get you on the drums.
I'm not that bad. I haven't played in consistently in 10 years, but
hey,
we can do it.
I think like Bart them, once you do it, I think it never just leave you all.
No, it never did. It never does. It's like riding a bike.
Well, now you mentioned that you do mentor individuals. Tell me about that.
Well, before this year, 3 years in a row, I've mentored students at Kirby High School in Hickory Hill, just trying to give them the life skills, etiquette needed to go on to the next level.
I like that.
Also, within our national organization, the National Association of Black Journalists, I've taken on some mentees, just showing them how to evolve into being their natural selves on television. Because, let's keep it real, Pastor. News reporters and TV anchors are looked at as corny. I'm just being honest with you. I get it all the time. He's like, hey, put on your reporter voice. I don't have one.
Yeah. How do you just be yourself?
I just be myself. And I think you will gain so much more respect and likability. And you can become more relatable. Because that's what all people are looking for, someone they can relate to.
That's all right, man. That's all right. Well, 10 years ago, is this what you had planned for yourself, where you are right now?
10 years ago, I had a professor in college who told me I would never be on TV.
Wow.
I had a professor in college who told me I would never be on TV. And,
Any particular reason was he?
That New Orleans accent. It was heavy, that New Orleans accent. I had to teach myself how to talk. I had to pay for a vocal
New
coach.
Orleans accent.
Yeah. I could
with
get
the Louisiana slang?
Not Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans. That Louisiana, I don't think you could understand nothing they say.
Okay.
New Orleans, hey, what's we don't say words. We just baby, So but that professor and gave me, actually, she motivated me. She motivated me.
So even with vocal coaches and all of that, so that you could just correct your craft.
Yeah, and it was a lot of money. It's a lot of money to learn how to talk and open your mouth, And so when I'm really tired, that New Orleans accent will come out because it's a lot of work to move your mouth.
Wow.
It's a lot of work. And how I ended up on TV is because no one at my internship when I was an associate producer, like only one person, and that's my mentor today, actually he's my vocal coach. Only one person took a liking and had the the belief in me that I would be on TV.
Any particular stories that you like more than others?
You know what? I like them all. I like them all because it gives me an opportunity to understand and learn empathy, understand different cultures, understand the root of many issues, and understand what drives people. Over Christmas, I did a story that I really like. I did it on Chris Bounds.
Okay.
I did it on Chris Bounds, and of course, I liked it because he's a drummer.
He's a drummer,
and it gave me an opportunity to show off and do a little bit of what I used to do in New Orleans, show off the amazing musicians, and that really made me feel really good. It was a great Christmas story too.
Wow. Chris' dad, I preached for him when I was a little boy.
Man, you just preaching for everybody.
Hey, well, so I've been preaching now. This is 42 years of preaching.
Man, you were preaching before you were born.
42 years.
42 you don't look a day over 40.
Yeah. I've been preaching 42 years, and so all of those guys got a chance to preach back in the day with some great individuals, and preach for some great individuals. And Chris Pat and Bart, have kind of grown up together.
Yes, indeed.
Bart a little ahead of. He's ahead of Bart, but yeah.
Two amazing musicians.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. So it's amazing just to have seen all those guys evolve over the time.
Yes, indeed.
Well, look, I tell you, it's been great having you on the other side of the mic.
Yeah, this is
and
cool.
being able to talk about just faith and how it have directed your life, and then just to see another side of journalism that you don't see and hear from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
it's been a great opportunity. Thank you much.
All right, so we're going to take you up on the drumming on Brown, and I'll let you come to choir rehearsal so that you can at least practice the shout music before you do it.
Look, I got to get in shape. Because y'all shout here, I gotta get in shape.
Well, it was funny when you and Sherry was doing So for Christmas. Down in McClurky broke out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want to see what the news reporter does now.
Oh, you saw my two-step?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, look, I got a full gospel two-step. It's smooth.
Hey, well, look, this is Bartholomew Orr, and I want to just thank you for just joining the conversation today. Let me know what you think and connect with me on the website and all over the social media. Be sure to subscribe to my e-newsletter as well. Don't miss out on even more ways to just live your life outside of the box. Stay tuned for more conversation that will inspire you to really do and think and do the impossible, even in these unprecedented times. God bless you. Until next time.
Thank you for being a part of the Church Forward Conversation with Dr. Bartholomew Orr. Be sure to join us for the next episode.
Say, hey, first on Church Forward Conversation. Yes.
Right. It's every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.